Hey John, this is Jeff Watson. Thought what I'd do, instead of writing out a long email and maybe kind of vague or not fully clear, I thought I may just make a video, draw some pictures, and show you what I'd like to get accomplished when we come down to Haiti. We'll draw some pictures here. First thing we want to do is and one of the main things we need to do is, when we've got the generator pad right here, and you've got the two generators sitting right here, we need to mount the two panel boards that are going to distribute power from these generators and from the utility. We need to mount that panel board somewhere over here. There's two of them, or somewhere over here. Now, a unistrut is just basically some kind of structural steel that can just, I'm sure you've seen it, but it's just stuff that we were going to bury in the ground, but it sounds like the ground's going to be too rocky anyway. We need some way to try to mount these panel boards so we can bring conduit and wire to it. That's one of our that was one of my requests, was that unistrut. The flexible metallic conduit, in the US, that's what we would use to connect a rotating or vibrating machine to an electrical system. It's the conduit we'd use, because when you have those vibrating parts, you want to use some kind of flex conduit so it doesn't shake. Something rigid would shake apart or could shake loose. And I imagine we can do some kind of PVC rigid conduit, but what we need to do is come out of the sides of these generators with some kind of conduit, and we need to take cable over to one of these panel boards. So somehow we're going to have to come out of here, and we've got conduit that we sent to you, but that's 4-inch conduit, and my original plan for that was mainly to distribute from these panel boards out to the campus underground with that 4-inch. This right here we could do with about 2.5-inch conduit. And I don't know if you have access to PVC conduit or not, but that would be ideal if we could use a smaller conduit. So that's the purpose of the conduit. But like I said, we can maybe make use, if you let me know if we can work with that, or if we can use that 2.5-inch, or if you can get 2.5-inch PVC conduit. Now the ground rods, we need some kind of grounding system, and whether that's, who knows, I don't know, maybe there's some rebar in the concrete we can get to. That would work. The wire. This wire is going to essentially, part of the wire is going to be used for grounding. That's going to be the ground wire that we run from the generators to the panel board, and from the panel board to a ground rod or some kind of ground system, plus the grounds that you're going to run out to each feed that comes out of that panel board to the two different buildings. So we need some kind of ground wire in there, and I didn't ship that down there. The only thing I shipped was a 4-aught feeder cable. I was just trying to think ahead of stuff you may need, and you can use that down the road, and we can use some of it here, and we are going to use some of it here. But this, if you can get copper conductor, which in the United States we call THHN, that would be the type of insulation that covers that wire. If you could get that, that would be real handy to have. So that's the stuff that we need. That's what I'd like to get accomplished. And also, I'd like to go ahead and try to get accomplished the trench that goes out there to your warehouse, and the trench that goes to the garage. Put the conduit in, pull the cable in, set the panel boards in each building, go ahead and cable to it, and terminate the wire and do all that, and get that set up so you can run wire inside the building to power up what you need. One of the questions I had sent also is what type of loads are you going to have in that garage? And I didn't know if you have any tools in there, and if we needed trying to size that service feeder from our distribution panel board. So those are the questions I need answers to. I know there's a lot of stuff in there as part of that conversation, but I wanted to say it all and draw it all instead of trying to type it all. So I'm going to put this on YouTube, and email me back questions, or I can make another video if I need to draw some more pictures for you. So that's the best way that I understand things anyways, when I draw them out. So anyway, that's the thoughts and that's the question. Oh, the other thing is, we're going to have to bring from your utility feed over here where your pole is, we're going to bring a feeder from that over to that generator panel board. So anyway, that's what we need. If you have any questions, please send me an email, and we need to make, like I said in that email, we need to make some decisions pretty quick, because we need to figure out what we got to bring and how we're going to get it there and that kind of stuff. So the time's getting short, and you know how things move. It's always slower than you think it is. So anyway, appreciate it.